Jay Burton of Colorado, making sure all of you know what she looks like. Jesus, fuck, these guys are dumb. They didn't want to come forward and tell the truth because they didn't want people to know all about all of their fuck ups. Well, I don't give a shit. You didn't come forward because you're a coward. That's not my fault. Yeah, you guys go out of your way not to understand what somebody who is a male is in need of when it's literally the same thing as you. Does she try to understand my disabilities or PTSD? Did she try to understand that she could do something for another victim? But no, she doesn't care. She wants to play victim. She wants to play like she got PTSD. No, 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 no. You do not. You do not, little girl. You do not get to play victim after you put yourself in that situation. You did that to yourself. You chose that. You chose that. I didn't marry Theo. I didn't have sex with Theo. I didn't let Theo beat on me. That's the thing, is that you put yourself there. It is nobody's fault but yours that you were abused. Don't get me wrong, the first time you were abused, yeah, you probably didn't see it coming, and it's probably not your fault. But when you went back again and again and again and again, and you're out there doing exactly the same things as Maddie Boa. You're doing exactly the same things as Theo. You're doing exactly the same things as Natalie and Alicia were doing. But you were doing it from a stroller with a baby in it. You're mommy of the fucking year. Mommy of the fucking year. And you don't think about any of the people that you fucking ganged up on with Theo to be fucking completely shitty, do you? Like Miss Reinhardt. Yeah, I get that she's a strung out meth head. But Theo was having sex with her. She was going to have a baby. Wasn't sure if it was Theo's or Vic's. And you and Theo out there fucking yelling and screaming at her because she was saying she had... Was it Reinhardt? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. It was either her or that other crazy redheaded lady. Fuck. But a man with PTSD, a man who is actually abused, your abuse is over, right? You're out of that situation. You're away from Theo. And that has to do a lot with good people who stuck up for you. Good people who said, you know what, maybe she's not a fucking stupid bitch after all. Maybe if we give her some positive reinforcement, maybe she'll get the fuck away from Theo. Maybe she'll fucking find something to do with her life other than that. Selling drugs out of a fucking stroller. Talking about how she's a juggalo. Are you fucking kidding me? Christ, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Yeah, Brandon Jepson thought he was a juggalo. But his mama didn't like it because she's like a freaky weird Christian type, sort of sometimes. And then, you know, he's like, all right, I'm going to try to appease my mom and pretend I don't like ICP. You know, I'm just not into ICP that much anymore. And he didn't listen to it as much. You know, he's not wanting to get the devil's brand from his mom. Then they come out, oh, actually, we were Christian the whole time. Holy shit. He just wouldn't let that one fucking go. He's like, Mom, they're Christian. I told you they were Christian. No, you didn't, dude. No, you didn't. Only as an excuse. And by the way, that ended up being just a fucking joke, so whatever, dude. How do you like that? Use one of my weird voices. If I do that, you might pretend I'm another personality. I'm a different person altogether. Sean think he's Porthos the pirate. Porthos? Porthos the pirate? I thought he was a musketeer. How queer. Strange to the least. To the least. Or would it be to the lists? No, that's for jousting, isn't it? Yeah, I absolutely know how to throw a bunch of fucking crap together just to fucking weird you out. I also liked being entertaining, but not entertaining like this. This is serious shit, and you treat it as entertainment. Of course, when I tell jokes, they're usually pretty serious, too. Anyway, my vehicle is busted. I've been ripped off by a lady, again. That's the thing about me being stuck out here, is I have to depend on anybody who pretends like they're gonna help me. I have to fucking hope. Without civilian oversight, nothing happens. But then when people are, oh yeah, sure, we'll make the calls, but you're not making the calls, and when we finally do make calls, they're to the wrong place, where we get run around in a circle anyway. That's not much help to me. That doesn't get me out of this dangerous situation where I am going to have to depend on you. And yes, if I have to depend on you and your anxieties, but you're not going to be at all understanding of mine, or you're going to claim that you understand because you have the same issue, and then you're going to proceed to do literally the same thing that you said that you wouldn't. This is going to drive me nuts. Now, of course, the things that were done to me, they're not illegal, apparently. You guys make any excuse why it's not illegal for people to do it to me, but if I do it back, right, seeing where I'm going there. If I do it back, I'm an asshole. I took almost 2 years worth of threats against my life and my friends and family's lives before I threatened people back that way. Now, I'm trying to fucking collect all these things, and at the very beginning, I tried posting them up so I could show, hey, people are fucking threatening to kill me and my family. And what would happen? Boom, 30-day Facebook ban for showing that somebody threatened to kill me. Yeah. Meanwhile, Cara Mia, a.k.a. Cara Rogers, tells me that she had the same thing go on. Somebody was sending her pictures of her son with a noose around his neck. So she posted this according to her. I don't have any proof of this. But she claims that she was on a ban because, and many people did this, by the way. Their Facebook was under attack, so I was a horrible person because they spoke up without knowing what the fuck was going on. Man, I stood up for you. People destroyed my Facebook. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It should have been turned into the fucking cops, not turned into me. You want to be an asshole to me? Be an asshole to the people who fucking targeted you for speaking up. That's the thing. You didn't speak up. You got your Facebook destroyed. So you didn't speak up. Anything that you typed, it just doesn't exist. Also, the fact that you aren't there to verify that you typed it. Yeah, they're just going to say, well, how do we know you didn't type that? How do we know you didn't write that? How do I know? Experience. I've got those experiences, some of them, on my fucking YouTube channel. The problem is, the ones that I don't have recorded are the ones where I couldn't fucking record it because everything was full of evidence. And you guys don't understand that that's when I'm going to have the worst fucking freak out. I am stuck on the fucking streets, can't take care of myself, and people are afraid of the homeless. They're afraid of autistic folks. You assume that we're retarded and that we're schizophrenic, that we're on drugs. What the fuck is wrong with you? So guess where I'm going? We're going inside. Let's see. It is Thursday, March 23rd. I have pocket change. I walked around picking some up last night. I dug some out of the mold on my seat. Yeah, I found a huge moldy nail. Hold on. Let me pull it out. That was on my seat. Quite a ways down my seat because I had to dig for it. I'm overwhelmed. I can't function. I've got too many things to do. I don't have a physical body capable. I don't have a physical facility capable. If you drop me off in fucking housing somewhere, and then you pretend like I can take care of myself. No, I can't. I can't defend myself against predators. Stupid. That's fucking neglectful. And it is neglectful of my friends and family to force me to go into those places alone and talk to those places alone, only to be blown off repeatedly and then told that I didn't try. Even if I record it. I mean, look at my Aunt Mary, for shit's sake. Will she look at any evidence? No. She just pretends, just like the fucking rest of you that want to have an excuse for looking away, like putting medications into me is not assault. See, that's her excuse. I'm like, all right, you know what? People punching me and kicking me is assault. And that's what happens when you've got web sleuth groups and fucking nut jobs spreading rumors of shit that didn't fucking happen. The officers in Joseph Michael Lopez case fucked up. They fucked up bad enough that, yeah, by law, Joseph Michael Lopez should be free. They had to give him the plea deal that they did, because if they had not given him the plea deal that they did, they would have lost the fucking case because of the shit they did to me. Dumbasses. So let's get in there. We'll enjoy our day, or pretend to, in public. We'll pretend that Vicky Rain is not a horrible excuse for a human being. When you say that you're not going to do something to somebody and then you literally immediately do that, well, I am under no obligation to keep my word to you when you do that. What you do not understand is that is a deal breaker. No matter what your reason is, valid or not, it is a deal breaker. You want to rechange the deal a whole bunch. The thing is, if you're going to tell me something, like you can't because you're sick, you can't because you have heart problems, that shows that I did try and you made excuses. Or you legit have heart problems and you told the truth. In either event, you would fucking understand this if you'd look at the fucking evidence. If you idiots looked at the fucking evidence in my paperwork and you go, oh, well, you know, Let's just see if he did this or not. Well, first of all, most of the crimes that they charged me with, I didn't commit. I don't fit the fucking criteria. The problem is that I had to go back to my predators for fucking help. Because none of my friends gave a shit. It was not my predators who made me suicidal. It was Kayla Trujillo, who was supposedly my friend. It was Joanna Taylor Smith, who was supposedly my friend. It was Derek Parrish, who was supposedly my friend. It was Maddie Boa, who was supposedly my friend. Why did I go to Maddie Boa first? Because she's the one that started the fucking rumors, dummies. Sure, it started off with Natalie lying because she was embarrassed. She wasn't stalked. And I fucking left Virginia. That should have been the end of it. I was never allowed an honest day in court because I didn't even know I had a fucking court date. And even had I known that I had a fucking court date, I didn't have the fucking money to go. Forcing somebody to fucking move for 6 goddamn years because you don't want to hear what he has to say is fucked. So let's put on our smiley faces and pretend that life is grand. We will pretend that the sun is warm and the grass is green always. We'll pretend that Bob Ross is the narrator of our lives, painting happy seals. Let's put us in there a little bit of one of them there Fat Tuesday rainbows. All right. I am not okay with fighting for LGBT anymore. Victims' rights. Whether you suck cock or not makes no difference to me. Whether or not you are black or white, I don't care. If you're a victim, that's what matters. When you guys want to throw all this, oh, well, we're more victimized and we're more victimized. No, I'm more victimized. Statistically, I'm going to be more victimized. Statistically, I am fucking easy to victimize. Oh yeah, and realistically as well, for exactly the same reasons. If you put someone into a situation where they're at risk. Oh my god, dude. Are you reading my mind?
I think so.
Alright. You look like one of those type of people.
Yep. It's my special power.
I wasn't trying to say you're pretty like Deanna Troy. I don't want you, thinking that I'm winking at you for any other reason other than I got Tourette's.
Yeah.
No, I'm not violent either. Hey, you know what? I scream about it and pretend to be on my YouTube channel, though. If you watch my YouTube channel, you'd be so scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
I have panic attacks and scream because I don't have any friends. It is so cool to watch actually give people panic attacks.
Yeah.
Alright, it's going to take a minute.
Alright, $1.49, 25 cents.
There's 30, 40, 50,
25, 35, 45, 55, 85, 90, 90, $1.10, $1.20, $1.25. $1.45, $1.55.
Yeah, so you give me one of the nickels back.
And it's true, I do give you
You know what? I knew it. You've got the sixth sense. Sixth sense right there. It says so. It's that whole mind reading Deanna Troy thing.
You 6 cents for it, yeah?
Thanks. By the way, I know that's just absurd. I'm not crazy. I just thought it was funny.
What? For here, it says table. Thank you. I'm like,
Did you say she's playing Angry Birds back there?
how you doing?
I walked on my broken toe this morning. It's almost going numb. Plus, it was really cold this morning, so that helped.
Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah, how my knees like that. When did you break that?
Oh, that coffee's for
That's
them.
his.
Yeah.
So you still need a copy
Oh.
for that?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Shoot.
How much cream?
One cream, one sugar, or Splenda.
I was about to act all offended there for a second, but then I got lazy.
can you put a splint on it or something and wrap it?
They used to say to do that, but now they say not to because
Really?
it cuts off the blood flow and prevents the blood cells from getting in there and doing their work. They
So
basically,
they just want you to naturally to heal however it's supposed to heal.
well, it depends on the type of break, but I'm a filthy hobo and I'm afraid of hospitals and doctors and all of that.
Okay.
When I'm not a hobo, though, I'm fine with
No,
going to
you're
a
not.
doctor. They're a lot nicer.
I don't consider you a hobo. A hobo I would consider no car on train pack. That's what I think of as hobo. On trains traveling with a pack.
I used to do that, but I didn't travel until I had to. And when somebody would call me because they were sick or needed a rescue, that's when I traveled. Other than that, I stayed in Boulder and watched drunk people do
Well,
things.
then he's walking into his
Yeah. It is very important to be able to show the truth. I am far more kind than I should be. Mostly because I don't have any possible way of doing all this. If I'm not stuck in public, I don't so much need to record. But one thing that is very important to me is the safety of myself and those around me. When we've got somebody who is harmful, I don't mean like screaming and shouting or anything like that, but somebody who's actually physically harming people, that's what this thing's here for. Also, as somebody who's autistic, this is my lifeline, although I don't really have anybody left on my lifeline. That's because out of everything that I need, the easiest thing to do is to speak up. They don't know how. Well, you could call the media. You could call these places. You could call them with me. You could explain to them who I am instead of making me go in alone and be blown off because of the mentally ill tag. Those of you who knew me in person are about the worst excuse for human beings on the planet. If I say it with a smile on my face and say bless her heart afterwards, it's all okay. Now, if I responded in the same way as Shea Burton every single time, actually, I kind of do. That's one of the reasons for being addicted to Shea Burton. But you think I'm mean on accident? No. That's one of the worst things about all of this, is that if they think you're schizophrenic, they feel sorry for you and they let you go again. Oh, well, he doesn't really know what's going on. But then the other problem is, when I was having my court stuff there, and I was in prison in Lincoln, having court dates in Dual County, Nebraska, that I wasn't even a part of. They prevented me from going to multiple court dates while incarcerated on multiple incarcerations. Same thing in Colorado. It was beautiful. You would be surprised how unpopular you can be when you tell on child molesters, rapists, and bad cops. I don't just tell on those people. I also speak up for all the victims. I don't speak for all the victims. I speak up for them. Do you know the difference? There's a difference between speaking up about the conditions that I'm living in and speaking about the conditions I'm living in. I can speak about the conditions I'm living in. Some of the people here in Tillamook on the homeless circuit can speak about the situations and conditions I'm living in. There's a family here, the Scudder family, and I like them very much. I don't like them right now, but there is absolutely no hatred there. Oh wow, is that hail? Alright, if that's hail, we're gonna go enjoy that stuff. No hail. Rain, go away, come back some other day. Well, that's the weather here in Tillamook. On the right side, cold rain keeps the cow stink down. It's different in Nebraska. In Nebraska, the ground is sun-baked. Not right now, this time of the year. It might still be snowing. Oh, come on now. Am I too stupid to turn on my computer? No, I'm not, but I was too stupid to bring in my keyboard. Now, let me tell you whose fault that is. I don't think that it really takes me having to admit. But yes, I made a mistake. I left my keyboard out there. I do apologize for committing such a horrible sin. I intend on committing more. When I tell you that people are threatening to kill me, I need help turning it in, and I show you that people are threatening to kill me, and you still don't help me turn it in. And then more people threaten to kill me, and threaten to kill my sister, and threaten to kill my niece, and threaten to kill, well, you know, people were specifically threatening to kill. Yeah, they weren't threatening to kill Natalie Bollinger. They weren't threatening to kill Alicia Bollinger. They were not threatening to kill Maddie Bowe. They were threatening to kill Jerry Sparks, Tyler Sparks, Brandon Jeffson. Like, did you guys not pay very much attention? These are the people. I'm sad that they're not a part of my life anymore. See, that's the thing, is that Jerry Sparks, Candace Bondurant, Lanny Engeline, Amanda Engeline. These are all people that, between when I was in Virginia in October of 2016 and when Natalie died, these people were not a part of my life at all. At all. The only three that were a part of my life was Natalie, Alicia, and Maddie, and that was only because their friends wouldn't leave me alone. I said, hey, leave me alone. I said, hey, I'm mentally ill. I did what you people told me to do, and what you people told me to say. That didn't work either. All right, that's not true. I didn't do all the things that you guys told me to say, because you guys were telling me to threaten to kill them. You guys were telling me that I needed to go beat on their door. You guys are telling me that, well, if I really need, then you'll give me a shotgun and I can go take care of it. A lot of y'all tell me, hey, you should have never gone to the internet with it. You should have gone straight for a 223. If you don't know what a 223 is, maybe you should look it up. You want to put a period first. I know that sounds odd. Look up .223. The solution that Riley Lawton had for me about the situation is to beat people up.
Yes, you're on coffee. I'm good. All right, sweet.
Only if it's free and I can have one from a lady. I'm stuck here. I've had about enough of that. God to do it. You're going to pray to God to give your testimony in court. You're going to not. Your prayers don't work. I want you to sit down on your couch. What do you got in front of you? Container of pistachios, cashews, nuts, M&Ms. It don't matter. I want you to pray to your God. Pray to Him as long as it takes for God to put one of them cashews in your mouth, or one of those M&Ms in your mouth. Don't move. You just sit there and you let God do the work. You pray. If you pray hard enough, that cashew will go in your mouth. The Bible says so. The faith of a mustard seed, my man. I want you to sit there until God puts that cashew in your mouth. God will not put that cashew in your mouth. You will have to do some work. You will have to move, or someone else who is physically present or in control of something that's physically present. I know you guys like to try to break it down into here's an exception, here's an exception. All right. I get that somebody could be controlling a drone from another room. I get that you go, there's military ones can do it from halfway across the world. All right. I get what you're saying. But without physical effort from the physical environment and the people there within, that nut's not going in your mouth. If you want nut in your mouth, you got to open your mouth and you got to stick it in there yourself. You really want God to nut in your mouth? If he did that, we wouldn't know who Jesus is. Oh God, I just said that out public. Oh. All right. I probably shouldn't laugh at my own jokes. Alright, my computer is finally on. Hopefully it doesn't have a really big ginormous update. People don't understand that I need a safe environment. They don't try to understand what a safe environment really is. Jail is not a safe environment, especially not if you got PTSD. Sometimes it can be. I rather enjoyed the whole. Lo sto vindo. Buses los. Heard that on a movie once. Buses los. Maybe I'll try to get this started on a lighter note. Type in Kelly's Heroes with them negative waves. WAVES. VES. Played by Donald Sutherland, by the way, that character. And then there's, of course, Kelly is played by Clint Eastwood. Can't remember who else is in it. I have no idea why movement catches my eye. Probably because movement catches just about everyone's eye. You have to train your way out of it. I guess kind of a defensive mechanism. The stuff outside, I don't notice the movement out there quite as much. That's part of the reason that I try to focus this direction, because then if somebody comes out of the bathroom, I don't see them. You know how awkward that is. I don't know why it's awkward for me, but it's awkward for others, and I don't like others feeling awkward. Also, I guess from where I sit, there's the women's restroom right there. When I sit on the other side, it's the same way with the men's. So somebody comes out of the bathroom, and I look up, and I make eyes with them. That does weird some people out. Like, man, I just come out of the bathroom, and now people are looking at me like I just pooped. Wondering if I wash my hands. A lot of people, when somebody looks at them, they believe that just because somebody looked at them that they're judging. They are. Rest assuredly, they for surely are. But it's whether or not they pass that judgment, which is important. There was a bunch of people down there on Pearl Street that were on drugs, and a lot of people deemed them not worth living or caring for because of their addictions. Well, you see the frustrations I have with people and their addictions. You also see how difficult it is when you're at the bottom to not find people that are all messed up on pills from trauma. Yeah, you got PTSD, so you're on pills. Why are you on pills and still have PTSD? See, a lot of these folks, they don't want to acknowledge that a man could ever possibly be victimized, and a man shouldn't have PTSD because he's a man, and men are supposed to man up. We're supposed to be Operation Piggy Bank, Operation Need a Burrow. You know what a burro is, right? It's a donkey. A burro. Well, of course, there's Operation Horse Hockey. You know, some men are bigger than others. I may not be Irish, but I'm sure cursed like one. And my accent sucks, but that's alright too. In public, you gotta mask as much as your opinion could potentially get kicked out. Also, I'm a reaction. It's when I've had to be patient for too long, and I'm secret if it results in people dying because you're a slip hook. And you thought that God was going to break your bank, it's going to drop your jaw, and you're going to have to go to the hospital and get wired back up. A whole bunch of stuff that is absolutely off in La land is part of what gaslighting is, trying to prevent people from listening to the victim. Gaslighting the victim to get away with this. It's somehow magically okay for them and their friends to engage in this. It's okay for them to target an at-risk adult, and nobody here cares. They'll just let it happen.
Does your window leak?
Yes.
It does?
Yup.
It's like pissing down rain.
Yup. Oh, I gotta sit in that. I gotta sleep in that. My seats are moldy.
And they get wet. They get all wet and cold.
Yeah, people got all these great ideas about how I could put an air mattress in the back. I'm like, yeah, you know, maybe if I was in better physical shape and had a place to do that where I wasn't afraid I'd get in trouble. Maybe, but I live in my car.
Yeah, that sucks.
Has it been 2 hours yet? I want to get a free refill.
I was actually told to walk around and check people who needed free refills.
Really?
That's what I was told. She's like, part of the counter is going around and checking on people to see if they need refills. So I was like, okay. I can give you a refill.
Yeah?
You want one?
I want one.
Alright.
I'm not sure if you're allowed to have my cup. We should go ask you, Haida.
Hold on. I'll just I'll just go refill without saying anything. She said free refills.
Says only for 2 hours, but I haven't been here that long, so it's fine. Ooh, some people typed at me. I hope it's somebody that I pissed off or somebody who figured out what I'm saying.
I'll bring the pot. We're gonna bring the pot over.
Oh my God, you better. When I say I need you, say you'd better. God, I am such a ginormous douchebag. Here I am. This is my YouTube channel. I got evidence of a whole bunch of people being stupid and racist and bad cops, intimidating witnesses and intimidating victims and all sorts of stupid stuff. I even have video of an officer here at the Safeway parking lot. He gets out of his vehicle, didn't say a word.
Yeah.
He runs over. He grabs a hold of this 14-year-old girl. He twists her around. It's a running start into the side of his friggin' vehicle. She bounces off of it, and I thought she just bounced off and laid on the ground.
Yeah.
No, dude, he fucking slammed her. I had to look at the video later on. I'm like, oh my God, he did slam her. Because I was arguing with the lady who said, you slammed her down.
A Safeway in Pilgrim?
Yeah, dude, I have it on video.
No, yeah.
If only I could get your shitty internet to work. I'm on YouTube. Yeah, Sean David on YouTube. It's a picture of me holding my goat. If
You have a go?
no, if I did, no, I was in Montana. It was a lady named Lana Engeline and Amanda Engeline in Glatton Gateway,
I gotta stir that for you.
and they had
I'm gonna
goats.
bring like a straw back. I'll be right back.
Oh my God, sir! And don't forget the powder for my nose. That was a joke. Probably not a good one. I swear I could piss off the Pope. Although I am glad that the new Pope likes gays. I'm going to change God's mind, because with God being infallible, you know, he better be able to change his mind, because something changed there. Or Catholics are wrong. I don't know which. And the way I figure it, pondering on religion is about like trying to figure out why that cashew hasn't made its way to your mouth, despite the fact that you've been praying for 11 and a half minutes. Now you could possibly pray aloud. Say, "Dear Lord, I hope somebody shows up to stir my coffee," when you know they're coming to stir your coffee already. That could work. Then your prayer's answered. Or of course, you say it when you know it's going to happen anyway. Like you sit down at the restaurant, you say aloud, "Lord, I wish the waiter would hurry up." Well, that doesn't mean the waiter's going to hurry up. But when the waiter gets to your table, you could pretend like it would have taken longer if you hadn't prayed. Now, when you say it loud enough that it's obviously a hint, "Get the hell over to my table," then yes, your prayer worked. But it wasn't God that did that. It was you being a dick in God's name. That's called vanity. Kind of like when you take a knee to pray to the Almighty during a football game with millions of people watching on TV. No, that is breaking your covenant with the Almighty. Yeah, I may not believe in your religion, but I've read your books. Not all of them yet. But I read them so I can argue with you idiots. The stuff that I got into the worst trouble for, oddly enough, although it's not against the rules or against the law, oddly enough, is making sermons. That's right. I'm not a preacher. I'm not ordained. I'm just stating my opinion. I'm allowed to do that. What I'm not allowed to do is defend myself in court or show evidence. The fact is, every single person who has watched my channel is an idiot and a horrible excuse for a human being. The fact that I'm forced to do this still after 6 years is horrible. How about instead of making me go to one fucking moron at a time, how about you guys make the calls with me right now? How about all of you who are able to use a telephone, get on the telephone right now and say, "Hey, knock this off, stop making him go public with this stuff." All these people that have been exposed on my YouTube, these people should have come forward. And that's why they're on my YouTube, is because they were lazy POSs. Alright, time to go get us first. See, when I put this stuff on YouTube, you know why I put it up there? I can't turn it in myself. I'll be ignored. I'll be talked over. I'll be hung up on. They'll deny me the right to have their name. And then when I try to turn him in, what's his name? I don't know. Oh, how can you turn him in if you don't know his name? I got a question for you. You got a homicide suspect. He walks in and he blows somebody's head off. Do you have his name? No, what you've got is somebody with their head blown off. You have that to work with. You've got Headless Jones. You get there, you see a body. Well, that means you can start looking for other evidence in the surrounding area. Maybe there's a camera. Be a good idea to get the camera. It would be a good idea to work with the victim. When it comes to male victims especially, there's a reason why over 90% of the crimes committed against males are not reported. It's because we are victimized by the police. It is because we are victimized by the courts. It's bad enough in the family courts. It's bad enough. Now, I have seen things start to change. There's nearly 24 women that reached out to me after Natalie died that wanted to tell me about their kids and how they missed their kids and all that, and I felt bad. I really did. Some of them I even believed their story and spoke up a bit. But then I realized what the issue was. Drug use. When they're claiming that their ex was a drug user who abused them. And they won't talk to you. Because when they talk to you, it's kind of like Alexander the other day. Not sure how many of y'all were able to see that video, or actually did. Probably not many. But yeah, he was pretty messed up. Like that's not minor drug use there. That's major drug use. Also being in jail for as long as he was. Did not have the same tolerance. That's what happened to Daniel. Daniel Kitlitz got out of rehab. Thought he had the same tolerance he did before and ended up dead. A lot of my friends were friends with my predators. That's how they became my predators. They had to choose between popularity and what's right. They had to choose between, the people who have drugs that they want and some retard they pretended to give a shit about 10 years ago. No brainer. Their drugs are more important. And I'm expected to understand. Well, actually, I do understand, and that's the problem.
Did you have to stir your coffee?
No, I didn't. I was waiting on, there's this one guy who was here. He was a blue-shirted seller. I think, I'm not trying to assume, but he might have been an officer. He had a little red thing on his sleeve with a golden thing in the center of it.
Yeah.
And, he could have been a McDonald's worker or a fireman or something too, though.
Really?
By the way, I prayed to God that somebody was going to come stir that, and somebody did. God, my prayers are answered. People tell me just to let it go. Not to be angry. You see, that's the thing. Shea Burton is all sorts of pissed off right now. Lots of y'all get pissed off. Oh, you don't like it, do you? You're not going to look at the evidence of this stuff happening to me or help turn it in. You're just going to ignore it. I don't get to. For you, it's just words. For me, it's Hades. Now, how many times have I been yelled at for sticking my nose where it don't belong? Plenty. Do you remember Jamie in the Dalles, Oregon? Getting punched by that dude who wanted to brag about being a felon, brag about being in prison, brag about killing a man in prison? What, you think I was just going to let him punch Jamie and not say anything? No, there was definitely about 30 other homeless people there at that point in time. At that point in time. Sitting at the tables, lined up against the side of the building. There was a lot of people there. She come up to his belly button. She is not very big, and he is very tall. He pushed her because she was screaming at him to get away from her. She did not want him to do anything to her. He pushed her, and she started going off even louder. Get away from me. And she was trying to walk away from him the whole time. I got out of my vehicle with that camera when I saw him through my mirror pushing her. She walked all the way across the parking lot trying to get away from him. He punched her in the back of the head, and I yelled at him. I'm the bad guy for yelling at them. I gotta take my nose out of other people's business. No, this is our business. This is the place that I was sent to. Is a safe place. Go to a church parking lot that's run by felons like it's a prison yard. No, I'm not paying rent. My prison pocket is not for sale. Not even for 2 soups and a stamp. Oh, that was smart. We've taught every woman in America how to play. We've taught every man in America that he can't call the cops if something happens to him. Because nobody cares about the law, they care about bias. That's the important thing about saving evidence. But the other thing is, if you're disabled, right there, you've got 1 point against you with the American people. If you're homeless, that's like having 10 points off against the American people. Americans hate poverty, but one thing they hate more than poverty is the homeless. The homeless must all be on drugs. Now, thank goodness there are people who are nice. Feeding the homeless, that's a nice thing. But we've got all of these issues of, well, sorry about the connection issues. For me, coming here from Boulder, Colorado, here most of the addicts are on drugs. I mean, Oregon is like a mecca for people who want to do drugs right now. But also, if you just cross the border to Washington State, it's just as nasty there, except that there, the addicts aren't picking up their needles. They're leaving them there where they used them, because if they get busted with them, they're in trouble. So if you're in any major city, even some small towns in Washington State, you need to watch where you're walking. You need to watch where your kids are walking. Those needles will go right through your shoe, right into your foot. Walking in an alley is a bad idea. If it's late at night, you can't go behind a building and pee like you can in Nebraska. You'll step on a needle. That's how bad it is up there. And here in Oregon, it is just as bad. But you're not finding the needles everywhere like you are in Washington State. Here, because of the legal laws, well, people aren't afraid of taking their needles to a sharps container and putting it in there. There's also different agencies up here that will go around and pick up sharps containers from homeless encampments. Now that's a really good thing, because we've got homeless people out here who are diabetics, and I do personally know diabetics who have gotten out of prison for having a needle. That's right, they went to prison for having a needle. No history of drug use beyond insulin, no drugs in their system, just that Colorado, if they don't like you, they don't care. Yes, you can go to prison for injecting yourself with insulin in Colorado if you're homeless. A mecca for corruption and stupidity in America. I mean, we get to see, just like here in Tillamook, we got female teachers in Spokane, Washington having sex with underage kids. Spokane, Washington, we got female officers, just like here in Tillamook, pissed off about a difference in wages. Of course, the difference in wages here with the lady in Tillamook and the difference in wages with the lady in Spokane. The lady here in Tillamook, it's around $1,000. Around $1,000 difference in a year between her and one other male employee. She's comparing herself only to that male employee, only that one. Now, we're also going to take a look at the one up there in Spokane was trying to turn in her coworkers as well. And it wasn't just money, but the variance there was like $15,000. Yeah, or sorry, $5,000. That's a lot more significant per year. When you're talking about, somebody who's been there as long as you get better performance scores. You're working more hours and you're getting $5,000 less per year. Your coworkers making $98,000 a year and you're making $93,000 a year. That's a little bit more significant of a difference. And then we've also got the assumptions of the disabled, right? You see a homeless person. When you're disabled and you're in a house, right? You've got a family who cares about you. You're at work. You hurt your back. You get workman's comp. You've got an address. You've got a mailbox. You've got somebody to help you to get all that stuff. You're laid up for 6 months with a bad back, or you break your leg and you're laid up for 8 weeks, and then after that you got 6 weeks of rehab, but you can work for most of that. Sometimes you can work from home. As a homeless person, you hurt your back, you're SOL. You break your leg, you're SOL. The doctor says, hey, stay off of it for the next 6 weeks. You can't do that. The cops ain't gonna let you do that. The weather ain't gonna let you do that. And the things that you gotta go do in order to take care of yourself on the streets are gonna require you to bounce from one end of town to the other for resources. It's not like there's a one-stop rent-a-center shop where you can go rent yourself anything that a hobo needs for a day. There just isn't one. And then, of course, I saved up my money. I did my best to save up my money. Well, when my best friend got her brains blown out, what ended up happening? People wanted to blame me. They wanted to pretend that because I'm autistic that I would go kill somebody. That is insanity. Then, of course, when it turned out that wasn't the case, when it turned out that Joseph Michael Lopez, the one that done it, you guys still kept on coming at me. And you pretend my physical abilities and physical disabilities don't exist. You pretend that Tourette's syndrome is a figment of my imagination. Well, I was diagnosed with that when I was 7, so whatever you want to call it, sure, it's a figment of my imagination. I have to tell people that I have Tourette's syndrome because I need them to know that if I wink at them, it's not because I'm hitting on them, it's not because I'm a homosexual, it's not because I have a crush on a girlfriend. Also, as far as my background in construction, I was never a very good construction worker because most of the time, people didn't let me run the heavy machines or any of the machines because retards are a liability. So I was the lumper. Problem is, I got an IQ of 172. I am by no means retarded. The problem is that intelligent people sound crazy to stupid people who don't understand. When it comes to construction workers, every construction worker thinks he knows better than the next guy. Well, except for the guy that just showed up today, who's never spent a day on a construction site in his life, and he spent half the day wasting your boss's money because you guys sent him looking for a board stretcher. Meanwhile, a lot of people say to shut up. Shutting up doesn't do anything. When my sister disappeared back in 2012, did I shut up? No, I spoke up and I went looking. When Sarah Rubiolo disappeared, did I keep my mouth shut? Or did I post it up and start looking? My little sister was found. Sarah Rubiolo was found. Both of them safe. Maybe a little rough for the wear. Not in the best of condition, but for certainly not dead, which is the biggest worry. When I made the missing persons post about Mandy Singer's son, Ryan, he was found safe as well. And Shauna Sinclair's daughter, she was found safe as well. But on the same day that I made those posts about Mandy Singer's son and Shauna Sinclair's daughter, That's the same day that Natalie Barnes disappeared, and we know that they found her corpse outside of McIntosh Dairy December 29th, or December 28th of 2017. December 28th, I think it was the 29th that they found her. Now, no matter how honest I am, no matter how hard I tried to show what was going on, they wanted to pretend like they had to catch a killer, and they tried to play that so heavy. They messed with me across the entire state of Colorado, messed with my friends and family in Colorado, threatened, harassed, and intimidated people that I stayed with. And ultimately, I was forced to stay with drug dealers. I don't want to stay with drug dealers. I don't do drugs. I quit drinking in 2001. I gotta take that back. I got my caffeine. I got my caffeine. But I was 28 before I started drinking coffee. Alright, so with me being disabled, I had housing too. And my disability with the housing thing was enough to cover it. It was not, however, enough to cover Cindy Taylor and her laziness, ineptitude, or stupidity. It was not enough to cover the expenses of having to go all the way to Sidney, Nebraska to see a therapist and a caseworker who were literally doing nothing. Now, as a male, I'm told that I just need to man up. When a male is being abused, that's how he's treated. You just need to man up. This is why males commit suicide at 5 times the rate of females starting at the age of 15. Whereas girls start cutting themselves at 5 times the rate of boys starting at the age of 15. Now, we also have a lot of statistics that you guys don't want to pay attention to. Like 96% of those killed by police every year are men. Last year, 60% of those killed by police were homeless. Men, they're about half of a population. Here in the United States, we've got a population of, I believe, 330 million. I'm going to check that again, though. Average population. The reason for that, far more likely to get assistance. People are far more likely to invite them into their houses. They're far less likely to see. You guys remember the names of the serial killer nurses here in the United States? Most of you, if you do remember them, only remember the 2 males who are most well known. But they didn't get nearly as many people as many others did. We're female. We don't advertise female stuff the way we do with men. The average sentence for a female sex offender is 8 months. 8 months. Meanwhile, you walk down the street and you point at a homeless person and you say, stay away from those people do this, and those people do that. Statistically, 80% of the time it's your dad. That's statistically. Now, 80% of the time with those sex crimes, 80% of the time when it's against a child, it is one or the other parent. That means mom or dad. And we've also been noticing it's not that female predators are on the rise, it's that people are starting to get woke. Oh, you guys don't like that, do you, you woke folk? It's all about a girl's emotions. If a girl emotionally feels like you have thought impure thoughts about her and she doesn't like it, then you've committed a crime. You're a stalker. If you did something wrong, that's when you did something wrong. You should not punish people for crimes that they did not commit. Preemptively punishing someone for a crime they might commit also doesn't. On the bright side, I'm smarter than the average bear, even if only just barely. See what I did there? Please? Playing victim is the same as being predatory. It is predatory. It's a part of gaslighting. You try to play the I'm sweet and innocent, for me, I'm just a girl. Oh, how could I do anything wrong ever? I've got PTSD. How dare you? How dare you? Really? Because that didn't literally been threatening my life. Literally been stealing my belongings, stealing my evidence. Literally lying to me to get me to spend money on things that I shouldn't be spending money on. People enticing me into a situation where it is not beneficial to me, but they promise, they promise, they promise, they promise. And then all of a sudden, all of my stuff is in a place where I am probably going to have to either, well, there's no way to get it back, is there? That evidence. Not without somebody who cares in person. Does anybody here care to turn in some child molesters with me? Does anybody here care to turn in some rapists with me? Didn't think so. That's because you're cowards and I'm not. I also have to understand the futility and stupidity of going in alone to talk to anyone without a friend or family member who actually cares. It don't matter. Now, if you've got the type of family that when you tell them that you were abused, they're gung-ho about helping you turn it in, they're going to want to look at the evidence. They're going to want to see that stuff. They're going to want to support you and help you. My friends and family were just mouths. If they did do something, they never spoke up about it. The things that they wanted to be just mouths about, they'd tell me, even if they didn't tell anybody else. Well, why didn't you tell anybody else if it's that true? That's what I want to know. Why is it Natalie Bollinger got a hold of me repeatedly when she was suicidal? Because when people are suicidal, they reach out for help, stupid. Why did Natalie reach out to me for help instead of reaching out to you? Why did she call me before she had Lopez blow her brains out instead of calling you?